How's the cookie? You wanna know? It's the Oreo Review Show.
Welcome to the Oreo Review Show. I'm your host. Today I'll be speaking loudly to mask my absence of a personality. If you're looking for the Oreo, I'm the guy in the Oreo. This show is mainly going to be about two things. The first is critical and accurate reviews of Oreo cookies made by Nabisco. The second thing is frequent jump cuts. So if I stutter or forget what I'm talking about or say something stupid, I can cut away to another thing. And people on YouTube are fooled into believing that I am competent. And that's when I start to make the big bucks. Today we're going to be looking at the Oreo, the original Oreo, the classic standard style Oreo. Sometimes they're hard to open. If you're not familiar with the Oreo cookie, it is a chocolate cookie with a vanilla cream center. So you can see it's round, the most delicious shape. If you ever had something that's not traditionally round and you cut it into a round shape, it's objectively tastier. Sandwiches, fish fillet. The first thing you're going to notice about the Oreo is that I've been holding it for about 5 seconds, and immediately there's a chocolatey residue on my fingers, which is objectively a little bit gross. Which is why if you're eating Oreos, you should always have a bit of Purell handy. Ugh. And I use Purell as a term like Kleenex or Google, not to refer to the specific brand Purell, but all hand sanitizers of any color or style. You should be Purelling in between each cookie. See, this is not really a great cookie because the circles aren't evenly. I don't know if you can tell. You can see they're not. It's not quite even at the bottom there. This is a pretty good one. This is a pretty good one. Sometimes they also become cracked, which is just a shame. You can see on the back it says the word Oreo. It says it on both sides of the cookie, and that is, I believe, because the cookie is very popular with the elderly, and occasionally they will forget what they're eating. Then you have a whole bunch of triangles in there, and there's like some lines here, and another line around the word Oreo. All that is just bullshit. That all adds to the flavor, the texture, so that when it's on your mouth and in your tongue, you can tell what you're eating. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite of this Oreo right here. Now, I want to be clear, this is not a review of the Oreo cookie with milk. I'm just using this as a palate cleanser. This is strictly a professional review of the Oreo itself. So if you're worried about any biases or anything like that, just know the milk is out of the equation. Now, you'll notice that when I ate that Oreo, I bit into it like so, like up to about here. And then I took a second bite, and then I finished it off with a third bite. That is the correct way to eat an Oreo cookie. There are wrong ways. Specifically, if at any point your cookie is separated into more than one piece, you're eating the cookie wrong. For the sake of appeasing your own curiosity, sometimes it's fun to open the cookie up and see what's inside. As you can see, on one side, the majority of the creme has stuck to that side. Over here, it's a sad, horrible mess. It looks like a car ran over something on this Oreo cookie and ground it into paste. It also split in half when I split it in half. An obvious sign that you're doing something wrong. Something else that some Neanderthals do is lick the cream off of the cookie. They just lick the cream right off of the cookie. The reason that's incorrect is because, first of all, it's disgusting. This isn't an ice cream cone. This is not a cream delivery system. It's a cookie. It's a whole package. Would you take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, split it in half, lick the peanut butter off of one slice, then lick the jelly off the other slice? If you answered yes to that question, maybe just consider suicide. The real tragedy here, if you're not someone who's going to actually throw part of the cookie away, which is obviously a waste, then you're eating this cookie. And at some point, you're ending up with this half, which has nothing on it. So, I mean, that isn't satisfying. It's too much. Just if that's what you want, eat Teddy Grahams. And I know some of you are saying, oh, but then you get this half, and because there's more cream and less cookie, the ratio is more satisfying. No, it isn't. This is the proper ratio. 2 cookies sandwiching the cream in the center. That's how it's supposed to be. Cookie scientists designed the Oreo to be the perfect cookie. And frankly, they succeeded. The distribution of cream to cookie, it's the perfect proportions. There's nothing wrong with it. The pattern, the label, it's a complete package in and of itself. You could just sell a standard Oreo cookie at a convenience store or supermarket. You wouldn't even need plastic or wrapping of any kind. You could just take a label, stick the nutrition facts right there, make it an edible label. That way you don't have to peel it off or anything. Just take that off the shelf. Ooh, a cookie. $4.99. Fair price. Now, I took 3 bites to eat that first cookie. There's nothing wrong with a 2-biter. You could do a half and a half. That's called the old half and half. If you're feeling bold, I could see every once in a while doing a whole cookie. Well, no, you can't. You can't do it. Another thing you could also do is you could dunk the cookie in the milk. But as I said today, we're not covering milk. We're doing cookies, we're doing jump cuts, and we're doing me talking loud! Oreo cookies right now come in a package with 3 rows or columns, if you're Greek. I like to start my Oreos from the middle row. I'll usually eat 1 row at a time. I think that's the correct portion. If you see here, it says 160 calories per 3 cookies. That's their serving size. In 1 row, there are 12 cookies, 36 total cookies to a package. So they're telling me that in 1 row, that's actually 4 complete servings of Oreos. Hey Google, what's 160 times 4?
The answer is 640.
Okay, 640 calories. That's fine. That's fine. Just eat that and then maybe skip dinner. The reason you want to start with the center row is so that when you store it for later, you have an even balance of cookies on each side to, effectively keep the package balanced. Of course, then if you just eat 1 other row, then it's unbalanced because you've only got 1 left to steady it. So eat 2 at a time in that case. The Oreo is delicious. It's supremely wonderful. It's magical. Not much of an odor, which I consider a positive. You could put these out on a plate, have them as a snack for guests at a party or for your kids, or you can do what I do, which is eat them alone in shame in a corner in darkness in my room at night. The Oreo is the perfect cookie. Therefore, as a rating scale, I will be rating things, if they are perfect, as 1 Oreo cookie. That being the maximum level of cookie perfection. The next step down will be 1/2 of an Oreo with cream on the side, which is of course an abomination, but at least you are getting the 2 things that make up a proper Oreo cookie. The level below that is the other half of the cookie, which contains no cream or a limited amount of cream as it was scraped off in a terrible misfortune. No one wants this. It's strictly shameful. And then finally, for the truly terrible cookie flavors, I will be awarding them a 0 Oreo score. No Oreos. The classic traditional Oreo flavor, the first official review for the Oreo Review Show YouTube channel hosted by me, receives a final score, being the perfect cookie, of 2 Oreo cookies. For more Oreo reviews, don't forget to slam that subscribe button, pound the shit out of that like button, comment below about how you like to eat the Oreo like a fucking animal. As always, I'm going to sign off with my famous catchphrase, Oreo!
How's the cookie? You wanna know? It's the Oreo Review Show.